Hello everyone, welcome to Aurelia's Crafting Ideas. I am making sheer bags for my grapes today. The supplies you are going to need for this project are some material. I am using this sheer fabric today. It's a tulle fabric in the color sage green. I will be using some embroidery floss too. You can use ribbons if you like. And you will need a large needle with a pointy tip and some scissors. You can use your rotary cutter and your ruler if you like for this project. The first thing you want to do is determine the size of the bags you want to create. And the fabric I have here, I have 1.5 yards of it, and it is 54 inches wide. So what I want to do is refold this so that I can determine the size of my bag. So I'm just going to open this up right quick and bunch that side, I think. So it's kind of hard to tell, I know, because it is sheer fabric, but here we go. So I'm going to take the edge here and fold it back up. And I want to make sure that I have room for my fruits. So I have grapes growing in my backyard, and I want to protect the grapes from the birds. So this is what I'm doing. So I think that 11 inches would be great. So I have 11 inches. So what you want to do is cut it at, let me grab a paper here right quick. Let me show you what I'm doing. Let me grab something you can see better. So you want to cut your fabric this way. And this is going to be the fold right here. So you're going to end up folding this in half back up this way, and then we're going to close it up. And then we're going to put a tie through here. That'll help to pull the string across and to close up the bag. So we want 22 inches here. And then the width of the bag, I think I want to go with 8 inches. I think 8 inches is good. I want, like I said, I want to have space for my grapes. So I think 8 inches is good. And then maybe 1 more inch. So we'll do 9 inches. So we'll do 9 inches on the width. And the length is going to be 22 inches. We can even go with, let's do, just to be on the safe side, let's do 24. How's that? 24 inches on the length and 9 inches on the width. So what I want to do is stretch this out just a little bit more so I have it folded at 12 inches. And then, yeah, like this. So when it's folded, this is what you'll get. And then you need your scissors here. And I'm just using my cutting mat here. You can use your rulers if you like. So we have 12 inches here. And I'm going to go this way. I'm flattening out my material here. And then I'm going to cut it at 9 inches. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I'm going to cut this here all the way up to 12 inches and then go across at 12 inches. So here we go. See? So now I have 9 inches this way and 24 inches this way. And I'm going to go ahead and cut out several of these, because I do have several bunches of grapes growing outside, and I want to make sure that I have the necessary bags for all my grape bunches right now. The next thing we want to do is grab our needle. I have my needle here, and then pick your ribbon or your thread. And I'm using embroidery floss. These are just extra embroidery flosses that I saved from kits. So it didn't have a number or anything. So, you know, I'm putting it to use. So I hate to waste good embroidery floss. So here we go. And then you can cut these at 18 inches if you like. Again, use whatever you have. You have your ribbon, you have strings, embroidery floss. You can even use twine if you like. So here we go. I have these cut at 18 inches. So I'm just going to put a knot on the end here. And what I want to do is sew the sides of my bags. And I'm choosing to use color because I love color. So I have it here. Now, another thing you can do that will be helpful is to grab some pins. You want some sewing pins like this, right? With the little ball. And then just tack these together. That'll hold your fabric together. And then you don't have to constantly shift to put everything back together. So here we go. This is it. And then I'm going to start on the end. I'm going to go with like a 5/8 seam. Oop. So what I'll do is I'm going to start here. There you go. And then I'm going to back stitch so my thread catches. Like that. And then I'm going to sew this up with a running stitch. Just in and out of the fabric. Nothing too elaborate. Don't go too wide between stitches. Anywhere between 1/4 to 1/2 inch is where you want to go with your needles, the spacings on the needle. So here we go. And then pull that and then pull that out. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? If you like, every time you stop, you can do a back stitch. That'll keep your thread from pulling, and you know, just one step to help everything along. Just like this. This is a quick project. If you need to cover your vegetables to keep away from the squirrels, or you know, that kind of thing, from the birds, this is the way to go. Now I went looking for bags, like sheer mesh bags, like big ones, and I was not too successful, so I decided to make my own. So here we go, and then I'm going to back stitch right there one more time and then go. See, it is not that hard at all. And then as you get to the point where the pin is, just pull that out so it doesn't get in the way. There we go. You want to go all the way to the edge of the fabric there. So here we go. And then I'm going to back stitch right here. And I'm going to put a knot here and just trim my thread like that. There we go. See, now I'm going to do this side. Let me check my thread in here, make sure I have enough. Well, even if you don't have enough, it's not a problem. You can always add more. So now this side, and then you want to just kind of smooth this out and then pin this side. Like that. and again here. See, it's just helpful steps along the way. And then again, start at the bottom of the material there, back stitch to help catch that thread, and then go ahead and sew in and out like this. See, it's not that hard at all. This is like a family project, or if you need something to do while you're catching up on the videos on Aurelia's crafting ideas, this is the way to go. Okay, let me rethread my needle. Like that, and then I want to back stitch right here and continue on. And then see, I'm at the point what the pin is. I don't need that now, so I can pull that out. Just like this. So the whole idea is to protect the grape, so that's why you don't want really wide stitches on the side. Keep it underneath a 1/2 inch. So go about there. I'm going to back stitch one more time and then continue on. See? Now you can use your sewing machine if you like. If you have a sewing machine, you can sew it with your sewing machine. And there's nothing wrong with using a color thread when you use your sewing machine also. So here we go. Where did I stop? Right there. I'm going to back stitch and then finish up my sewing here. So be careful when you match your material. See how mine is a bit off? So I'm going to stop right here. So this is where one ends and here's the other side. So I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to back stitch and then put a knot right here. Just like that, and then cut that. See? And then take this off, and there we go. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Not that hard at all, right? So now what you can do is just trim everything sort of even, right? Make things a little easier. Okay. There we go. Get rid of this here. So I have this. Now, because I want to be able to close this, right, I need to create a little pocket at the top. So here's the opening. So this is going, right now, it's the inside is on the outside. So later on, we're going to turn this the right side out. So now we want to take this and fold it back. Depending on how wide of a ribbon or thread you're using, you want to go with that much. So, but we did give an extra 2 inches. Remember, we went from 22 to 24. So we can fold this back a full inch if we like. So you don't need that much. You can go anywhere from what, 1/2 inch to 1 inch wide. And then, so when you get here, do you see this right here? The edging, turn it back like this and tuck that under. Keep it all on one side. So give that a little tug so I can separate that. And then I grab some more pins here. I'll put one halfway there and I'll turn it over. And put another one right there. Okay, now back to my thread. I need some more thread here. Okay. I think that's a good amount right there. I'm going to trim that one. And thread my needle. And I'm going to knot that right there. Now on this, I'm going to turn it this way so it makes things a lot easier for me. I'm going to start on the edge right here where I sewed it at the beginning. I'm going to go, well, you know what, mine is a bit wide, but it's okay. I'm going to go like a 1/2 inch. Yeah, about a 1/2 inch from the edging where the fold is. And I'm going to get my thread started right here. And I like to catch my thread, so I'm going to do that back stitch right there. And then go all the way across. Again, in and out. So go ahead and finish sewing this right quick here. Again, I'm going to back stitch here and turn this. And we'll pull that out. Don't need that anymore. And stitch this side down. Back stitch here. And continue. So when you buy like sewing kits and you get all this extra threading that you don't need, just save them. It comes in handy at moments like this. Or, you know, sometimes you find yourself with another project and you need a certain color and, you know, the kit doesn't have it for some reason. Or if you want to change colors, this is the time to pull those threads out. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm gonna leave just a little space here. I'm gonna back stitch right there. And I'm gonna leave my needle attached for now. I'm just gonna tack it right there. So here we go. So this is what it looks like now. So it's sewn with the fold here, see? Now, I want to get my strings in there. My idea is to use all my threading, extra threading. I'm just going to take another piece here. And let's see. I'm going to kind of measure just across. And then you want to have extra threading, right? So I'm going to cut it about right here. So this is going to end up being about 28 inches. So you can use a needle, make sure you have the ball point, like for embroidery, or you could use one of these. This is a loop turner you can buy at the fabric store. These are great to use when you're doing like, especially if you're doing a ribbon, you can catch your ribbon on here and then you just kind of like weave it through the pocket there. So, oops, hold on. So I'm going to take this. I'm actually going to use the dull side on the needle. I'm going to take this and just run it this way. So if you don't have an embroidery needle, do that. Just turn your needle and feed your thread in the pocket. So when you get right here on the seam, you need to get through the 2 layers of material here. So just remember that one. Like this, just Just feed your tie all the way through. And then give that a tug, get that material off the needle. And then we're back to where we started. So come back out in the hole. And grab the end. Don't accidentally pull it all the way through. Take the needle off. Well, look at that. Nice, right? I like it. I'm going to turn this back over. So now right here, your options right here where we fed the straw string through, you can close this off now if you like. Or just do, well, we did the one back stitch, right? So you can just do another one and then go ahead and tie this off. Or just leave the opening there. It's up to you. Go ahead and tie that off, and then I'm going to cut this. So we're done with that. So here is our closing strings. Now you want to put a knot at each end of your string. Or if you're doing a ribbon, put a knot on your ribbon. All this does is hold your thread together or make your ribbon look pretty. Now, look at that. So this is how far we've got so far. I hope you like my sheer bag idea for my grapes. My grapes are going to love me. I know they will. They're going to have a little more color on them now. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? I like it. Here are my completed bags. Look at this. Aren't they beautiful? Look at this. I'm glad I chose to go with two colors of the thread, you know, one to sew all around and then another one for my drawstring. So I have that one. I have this one. And there's that one. Here's another one. Look at this. Isn't that neat? I love the all the different colors on here. Well, my grapes are gonna love me for this. I just know they will. Again, you don't have to just limit yourself to grapes. You can put it on any fruit or vegetables for that matter. If you don't want the squirrels getting to your strawberries, put them on your strawberries. Well, look at this. I love my new sheer bags for my grapes. They're really, really cute. I like them. I hope you like my idea on making sheer bags for grapes or for any fruit and vegetable in your garden. Thank you for stopping by. This is Aurelia at Aurelia's Crafting Ideas, and I will see you next time.